Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome once again to a live stream. As the keener-eyed amongst you will notice, we have in the studio the gentle, sweet Eleri and myself, Gareth Wax. I hope you know me of old. And today we're talking all things love entrepreneurs. Specifically, we're going to talk about why love entrepreneurs, but also we're going to hear a little bit from Eleri about her story and what really prompted its creation in the first place. So welcome to the studio, Eleri.
Hello, welcome. Thank you.
So we have a very specific proposition here, and I just want to set this in place from the get-go. Love Entrepreneurs is not just another business network. We class ourselves as a fellowship of seasoned business people sharing wisdom, strength, and hope for the benefit of all. I think before we go any further, I would like to just hear from you, Eleri. What prompted you? Why did you start Love Entrepreneurs? Perhaps if you could tell us a little of your story.
No, absolutely. So Love Entrepreneurs, I was a serial entrepreneur, always have been. I've been a lawyer. I've been a property developer and an investor. So entrepreneurial thought and ideas is something that just sits in my brain, and I come up with these ideas. And as you may know, I think everybody knows by now, I went to prison and I came out literally with nothing. And it might have floored many people. I don't want to go into the ins and outs of everything, but it might have floored some people, but it didn't floor me because I'm not actually attached to money. I'm attached to the ability to create things from nothing. That's what interests me. Is it possible to do that? And when I came out of prison, I, as you know, I've got a huge passion for doing things differently and challenging ideas and thoughts. And as you know, money is not the only way to make money and develop in life and business. And what struck me about business networks generally is that they tend to be places where people just come and sell shit. They're just basically trying to sell.
It's a little transactional, isn't it?
I'm also a recovering alcoholic, and I was and I don't mind waiving my anonymity because it's personal to me. And the fellowship of AA is a huge part of my life. And I just thought to myself one day, wouldn't it be so beautiful if we could take and put into business, if you like, this concept of how to help one another, how to listen, how to share ideas and thoughts, how to learn from other people's wisdoms, how to learn from other people's mistakes. Doesn't matter how old or how young you are. The only requirement for entry into Love Entrepreneurs, if you like, is that you have a business idea. It doesn't have to be that you have a seasoned business. So that's how it was really born. It was actually born because I was fed up of going around Bristol trying to set up a business at the time, where people were constantly saying, oh, there she is, the ex-con. Now, brilliant ideas come from everywhere and anywhere. And I think we've all learned this from looking at how, whether you love or hate Donald Trump, but, let's be absolutely truthful about one thing. An outside the box thinker he absolutely is, and the idea is that we take ideas from anywhere. So we need to start to rethink how we do business. It's not just about being able to serve people. It's about taking the best ideas forward and working with those best ideas so that we can really create a truly amazing product. And, we take ordinary people and we create something truly extraordinary from that. And that is why we have 3 pillars in Love Entrepreneurs. I identified 3 things that I felt were really needed. And I've proved this concept with ex-offenders. I mean, I'm one myself. 7 years ago, 8 years ago, I came out of prison and I was homeless. I had 43 quid. Now, if I can do it on nothing, and I don't want to hear the excuse of, oh, but it's okay for Larry, she's got a brain. No, the point is, we've all got a brain. Guess what? Surprise, surprise, spoiler alert. And the point is, there is room for every brain, every thinking person in this fellowship, because by having a fellowship, we are truly helping everybody to become part of a movement that is going to move them forward to thinking better, to having friends that they can rely on who can come in and help them and collaborate and partner with them, which is why we do the Big Fix. We do coaching. I hate the word coaching because I am not a coach, but all I can share with people is my experience. They in turn can share with me their experience.
Okay.
Also do funding. So those three things were the main things that were missing in networking.
Okay, so before we go any further, I want to acknowledge that a bunch of people have rocked up and given us some comments. Christiana says, you look beautiful. That's very kind. Thank you.
Thank you, Gareth. Thank you, Gareth.
Thank you. Williams Bill, thank you so much, mate. A friend from across the water. That's very nice. Thank you very much. And we've got Anba Paddy, who says hello. Well, hello to you. And of course, we've got that we're making a positive difference. And thank you very much. Oh, just another one, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle. That's very kind. Okay, so what I've got is you were kind of forced into the position, either act or just do the same as everybody else. And what you've ended up with is something based around the principle of fellowship. Can you explain to me in words of one syllable or less what you mean by fellowship?
One syllable or less? So fellowship is a feeling of belonging to a tribe.
Okay.
It's a feeling of belonging that you have found your group of people that share similar views to you, similar aspirations, similar desires. And it's much bigger than wanting to make money. It's actually about wanting to be a better person, wanting to help people move forward, wanting to learn from others.
So it's not just you pay your sub, you turn up and you're touting for business, or even you pay your sub, you discuss existential issues and then you run away, never to talk to each other again. It's more being part of something more than that, right?
Absolutely. And let's be honest, you know, if you want to learn from people, you know, how they become resilient in the face of sometimes the most extraordinary challenges. And yes, I've had mine, but you know what? Other people have had theirs. Being in business isn't just, and I hate the word business, but you know, doing what we do isn't just about making money. It's about learning new ways of thinking, how to get to your end objective without having to always do things in the conventional way. I think that's very important, because conventionality, you know, if you're going to be conventional about something, it invariably never works because it's been done before.
Right. Apologies. I will be back in a second. Apologies. Yes. Doing the same thing again and again and expecting different results is often defined as the base level of madness, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean, but people do it. I mean, but there are plenty of examples of, you know, businesses being set up. Restaurants are classic examples why they funded, because we know the concept works, because people need to eat. But in this world that we're in now, there's a lot of noise out there, right?
Right.
And I've noticed there's a huge amount of digital overwhelm, of depression, of anxiety induced by just simply being part of the noise. And what I want to do is, you know, focus people on the simplicity of business. It does not have to be difficult. The problem is when you're fighting against so much noise and that fear of missing out and everybody going around and around and around in the same circle. I'm saying to you, listen, if you want to learn from somebody who's actually done it, here I am. These are the steps that I took. They're not special. They're just my steps, my story. In turn, there'll be other people in the fellowship who've also got their story and from whom I learn and take strength. But think of it, you take experience and wisdom, you take their strength with you, which infuses your strength, and you also take their hope. And together you realize that what was insurmountable prior to that phone call or prior to sharing that thing is suddenly possible because you have reached into a box of tricks where people have shown you all the possible solutions that you never would have thought of anyway.
Okay, so what I'd like to talk about now is the big fix and why you should come, because that's going to be our first event of the year, which will be next week, called the Big Fix. You talk a little bit about that.
So at Love Entrepreneurs, the first step in our journey is we invite people who have any kind of business idea, maybe, or they might have a successful business, but they have something. It doesn't have to be a problem. It can be an idea, something they want to explore with a group over 2 days, different people over the 2 different days, and get really honest, heartfelt suggestions and ideas how they can come up with different ways of approaching something. So that's our first step. We do this over 2 days. So Love Entrepreneurs runs 4 events a week. We take 2 different businesses every week. We create a report, which is not AI generated, although we do have our own AI generated report, but I will always put my own comments on top, that human touch. And then we coach people into it's not coaching, it's getting them ready to take the next small step and coaching them up to being ready to become investable, if that's what they want, and getting money, because there are certain ways of doing that. Then we fund.
So it is finding out what is working, what isn't working, getting the views of multiple other entrepreneurs in the round, and then once you've realized what the next step is going to be, then you create a funding path so that you can actually fund that step.
Well, we don't create it. Yeah, we do. We create an implementation path, really. And as you know, we at Love Entrepreneurs highly endorse the use of Silvertree, which is a currency that we use. Not everybody uses it, but we use it as an organization because that's very entrepreneurial too. And we're thinking outside the box. We're thinking, how can we use something? How can you use something that you haven't even got yet to fund something that you need? So we use all kinds of methodologies, and we try and look also at the mental challenges, because I can guarantee you that the mental challenge will be the one thing that everybody has got, and most people are in denial about it. But trust me, when you've been where I've been, you know absolutely that the most important thing to get fit and get sorted, first of all, is your mind, because without your mind, you're nothing.
So loveentrepreneurs.com, as you can see, love-entrepreneurs.com, it's written on the screen. And if you want to take part in the Big Fix, now Elaine Godley has written in and says, the Big Fix made me realize I was on the wrong platform. I changed from Kartra to Multics. Best business move anywhere, ever. So if anyone wanted to find out how that affected her, we probably should get in touch with Elaine Godley. She's very visible on LinkedIn. And if you can't find her, just get in contact with myself or with Eleri and we'll point you to her. But the Big Fix is a really good way of making it absolutely clear to you as the business owner where you are holding yourself back and also where your next potential beneficial move could be, and but even the steps one could take to get there, and then Eleri and the team will help you take the next step.
The rest is up to people. Look, I mean, it takes a certain mindset to truly want to be successful. There's no question about it. And there's no point me sugarcoating this. There's no easy way to do it. I mean, if you're prepared to be open-minded and listen to the experience of others, then you will be successful. The problem in business today is people don't listen because of the noise to other people's experiences. So I promise quieten things down slightly. Just listen to the advice of people that have been there before you, because you guess what, we might all be fossils to the Gen Z, but guess what, we've all been there before. We know how it goes. These are very often things that have been here before and are called different things these days. So it's listen to the advice and the wisdom. Just as we can learn from younger people, they can also learn from us, and we can all learn from each other.
Quite so. I wanted to thank you very much, Eleri, for coming on today and helping make these points absolutely crystal clear. And to all you people out there, thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. It's lovely to know that people are actually taking notice. Please do scan that QR code and get yourself onto the Big Fix. At the moment, although there's some discussion about it, at the moment, it costs nothing. So I would suggest you get in there.
I just want to say this, right, for the record, right? I have never wanted to charge for doing a Big Fix because I love entrepreneurial ideas. I love the ability to be able to create something from nothing. And it's free to do a Big Fix. This is not a sales pitch for anybody. Just take advantage of it. You don't know where that wonderful $1 billion idea will come from.
Right.
Just take it. It's free. Sign up. Send me an email, phone me, call Gareth, whatever, chat me up on LinkedIn. Come and have a look. Be curious. You never know what might lead you.
That should be our new motto, I think. Be curious.
Yes.
And we just got a last minute. Michelle Rollinson says, it's a great supportive community and the Big Fix was really useful and definitely opened my eyes to other ways of doing things. And I'll tell you, if that's all it's doing, I think it's very worth the time and effort spent. I'm just going to close this up and say thank you very much, Eleri Coslet, and to all of you watching and listening in. Keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars, and please try and look after that mental health. Before I go, I just want to mention next week, we're going to drill down into the Big Fix and perhaps talk about a specific one and take some of the benefits that were brought out of it. And we're also looking for your feedback. So if you guys want us to talk about any other aspect or draw anything into the fray, please don't hesitate to contact us. Until next week, goodbye.